Hey everyone, I'm here today with Kimber Green from Green Room, a local business in Arlington. How are you today, Kim?
I'm good. Thank you, David. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
No problem. It is nice to talk to you. So I'm just kind of curious if you could talk a little bit about yourself and your business. I know Green Room is temporarily closed, I believe, due to COVID restrictions. Um, but I'm curious if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to be the owner of the Green Room and kind of what your plans are.
Thank you. Yeah. So let's see. My family and I have lived here for about 7 years. We moved here from Nebraska, from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Mhm.
My husband and I are originally from the West Coast, from California. So we've had an interesting opportunity and journey of a variety of places to live. But we are so grateful that we found Arlington and Arlington Heights. We love it here. And I would say that, I mean, I can say a lot of things, but I feel like it's nice people, beautiful neighborhoods, the nature preserves with the trail systems I particularly appreciate because I do a lot of trail running.
Mm.
So that's nice. But I feel like it's close enough to the downtown or some of the energy of Boston, but to access it, but far enough away that you can take a deep breath. So that is, we're very fortunate to live here. But my professional background is as a speech language pathologist, and I offer that at Green Room Wellness Center. But so again, a background as a speech language pathologist with most of my experience in brain injury or other neurological events that car accident or a stroke or what have you that have affected people's cognition. So cognition meaning attention, concentration, memory, problem solving, self-awareness, self-regulation. And that really very much informed my appreciation and understanding of mindfulness meditation, which is also something that I offer at Green Room Wellness Center, one-on-one sessions, as well as we have groups. We have had in the past groups in the office. And then somewhere along the way, I hit a certain age where I realized, what else do I want to do with my life? And at the age of 40, maybe it's a special spot in our lives where there's a reassessment, perhaps. I was like, what else do I want to do? There's so many fun things I could do. So maybe because of my trail running and my running background, being an athlete, I decided to become a massage therapist. So I went back to school. This was in Nebraska.
Okay.
And about 11 years ago or so. And then after that, I started practicing massage, but I also was always doing speech language pathology in hospitals and rehab centers, doing some massage and all private practice massage mostly with athletes or people that had injuries, and starting to do some mindfulness meditation groups.
Mhm.
So when I came here, I started fresh, like I didn't know anyone. I didn't have any connections or anything. And I knew I had to find an office space somewhere. So I started off actually in Lexington and with my own office space, but I also worked for some wonderful women business owners in Davis Square so that I could at least start working.
Yeah.
And I worked for them part-time and also my office in Lexington part-time until my business grew.
Yeah.
And then actually I live right up the street from my office here in Arlington Heights, and it became available. Well, I started subletting there and doing meditation on just Monday nights.
Okay. So,
And from a martial arts, when it was a martial arts studio.
oh, really? Oh, okay. So that was a martial arts studio a
Yeah,
little
it was Park Avenue Wellness.
bit. Okay.
I don't know if you remember that. But
Yeah.
my husband is also a speech pathologist. We met in college.
Oh.
And he has his PhD he does research primarily through MGH, and it's the IHP, the teaching and research part of MGH, which is in Charlestown, the Navy shipyard.
Oh, okay.
So we came here for a position that he had an opportunity with them. So that's what first brought us here. Yeah.
Okay. There's
That's
usually
it.
some
Yeah.
kind of connection. It's always
Mhm.
interesting to see what brings people here. And in
Yeah.
Arlington, you find it very often it's either some kind of family connection, like maybe someone has kids, they want to be closer to relatives, or very often the case where there's some kind of job connection that brings people in. It's quite common. So
Yeah.
that's great. So then you your husband got to settle into that job, and then you said, okay, let's
Mm.
figure something out for
How am I gonna do this?
how am
Yeah.
I going to do this, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Cool.
And I mean, I am overjoyed with how it's worked out here for me. I'm so fortunate to have the people have been, I
Mm,
don't know, it just worked. And I started off also at Arlington Community Ed, teaching meditation through Arlington Community Ed. That helped a lot to
uh,
um, get people to know me, and they started coming for massage or meditation, and
mhm.
that really built my business. That's how it started, with those connections of the groups I taught through Arlington Community Ed at the Arlington High School. That was huge. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, because then you get to know people more than they get to know you, and doing
Yeah.
stuff like that is smart move. Just because if you're not from the area, that's one quick way to kind of
Yeah.
get in there to share your talents with people
Yeah.
and get to know others, even if there isn't business connection. It's kind of nice, I'm
Mhm.
sure, to know
Oh.
them.
Mhm. Yeah.
So then I'm curious, but unfortunately, with all that's going on with COVID up here, I know it's impacted a lot of small business owners, especially, well, folks I assume such as yourself, but physical, not physical therapy, but massage therapy,
Yeah.
in-person type thing. And I know
Mhm.
that there's a plan for that Governor Baker is proposing. We're in mid-May right now to kind of start opening up the business. But what was kind of the immediate impact on your business, and is there any workarounds that you're able to do to kind of keep your business running?
Mhm. Yeah, so it was quite obviously, for a lot of us, it was quite dramatic
Mm,
initially. You know, it was this kind of not real at first, like, oh, maybe we'll be able to get through this with hand sanitizing and
mm,
procedures and policies of keeping everybody germ free. And so I was doing that for a while, and then it became increasingly clear that that did not seem safe to me anymore. I mean, I see myself as a healthcare provider, and I thought, this is inconsistent with what I'm doing. I cannot guarantee a healthy environment no matter how much I scrub every surface. So I decided to make the call
mm,
which I just felt ethically like this is what I have to do. And so I closed very early in March,
mhm.
massage and meditate. I thought, well, maybe we could still do meditation if we're spaced apart, but I just thought, no, this isn't safe. I don't know. We didn't even really know then, like, how was spreading and building. And so, yeah, so it was kind of dramatic. Like, within a week or two, it was very clear, like, okay, no, this has to stop now. So then, I was a little bit of shock for a while. Okay, what's going to happen? But then fortunately, because of the meditation experience that I've had and the networking and things I've done, I have done some um, sessions with different businesses,
Mhm.
some tech businesses, and Spalding, and different universities here in Boston. Fortunately, I had those connections, because the other piece is that immediately everybody's very overwhelmed and worried and stressed. So I got opportunities quickly. Our whole staff is home.
Yeah.
Can you do some sessions for us, some mindfulness sessions?
Mhm.
And that was amazing and wonderful opportunity. And I have not had experience with Zoom or these,
Yeah.
but I always wanted to learn how to do this. So it forced me. So there's one of the silver linings. Definitely, I got forced to learn a new skill, and take advantage of these opportunities that help me, financially, to keep my business going, but also a wonderful experience, and to be able to help, to feel like I'm doing something that's helping in
Yeah.
this
I was gonna
context.
say it sounds because initially I was thinking when you said there was a bit of a shock, and I think everyone was kind of, a lot of people are in the similar situation as you. What's really happening? I think it's
Yeah.
a good move to kind of proactively take some actions in your business. I was going to say, how did you pull yourself out of that initial shock? Where with mindfulness meditation, you probably say, okay, well, I'll try this. I know this works, so I'll go ahead and do that.
David, exactly. Like, okay, this is why, this is what we're talking about. Now's the time to put this. Yeah, does this work?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
So
So
it
it's
really
easy when it's easy.
it really is helpful then. So in some ways there was some side benefit in that you were able to kind of expand perhaps the reach of what you did, right? Because you didn't really do
Yeah.
it online. It was always like come
No.
to the center.
Hmm.
Whereas right now you could kind of exponentially reach many people. So that's kind of a touching thing to hear that it's kind of it's found a new way to kind of reach out to
Hmm.
others and still be able to work,
Hmm.
but also
Yeah.
be able to reach out to more people who may not quite know what to do with the thoughts going around their head.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. And people from all over, of course, they don't. Before it was Arlington community, which I love.
yeah,
Arlington, Lexington, like local communities. I love building community and bringing people together.
yeah,
So it felt like, how could we do this if we're like sitting in front of a computer? It feels very counterintuitive to, meditation in a way. But no, it's not true. It's amazing to me how I can be sitting, so we'll have Zoom meditation, and there's all these people on the screen. Some of them show their face and some don't.
mm,
And we're meditating together and it works. Somehow there's still an energy of the collectiveness and the presence of us that I was really surprised. And I don't know that I would have thought that, and I would have maybe said, no, that will never work.
huh,
But so it's been a real gift.
mhm.
And like you said, also accessing people from all over the country. I've even had people from other countries be able to join, which is such a lovely thing.
Yeah. I mean, a
Yeah.
surprise and not a surprise, I suppose, if, someone happens to be, actually, I know someone who happens to be stuck in Ireland at this very
Oh.
moment, and they're able to continue working, obviously, with Zoom.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of curious. There's been tragedy. I hope you haven't been personally touched by COVID at this point. But do you think you're going to keep that online component then moving forward, since it seems to be almost another venue or location for some of the meditation?
Yes, I would like to, absolutely. Yep.
Okay, 'cause I could see it definitely like
Mhm.
being an offering. You could come in person or try it out, you know,
Right.
online with Zoom.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because I'm finding that as you know, I'm a real estate agent, so we do see um, a lot of our meetings, a lot of stuff going online, client meetings going online on Zoom,
Mhm.
virtual showings, all of that. And I could definitely see continuing that aspect of meetings for people
Yeah.
who are unable to attend a meeting in person. For example, I have worked with people from California who are
Mhm.
moving into the area and usually some kind of relocation benefit. And they find it easier just to be able to meet with me a little bit sooner
Mhm.
online,
Mhm.
and we can show houses online, and it just kind of helps expand what you do.
Right.
And also in time it'll be convenience factor. Right now it's more necessity.
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
so I just find
Yeah.
it interesting to see what other people are doing in this area. And I know small business owners in particular can have their own particular challenges.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's definitely a opportunity to be creative, right? To be creative, and if you can stay open in this context, which it's hard, sometimes it can feel hard to do that,
mhm,
because there's a loss, right? I mean, there's a loss, but also looking at it as an opportunity and stay open to let other ideas come to you. And I I have, I mean, again, I also am doing some stuff with massage online, like people with specific injuries, like how can showing foam rolling, it's amazing what we can do if we stay open and flexible, and
mhm.
um,
Yeah, so massage
and maybe
therapy.
even people who wouldn't want to come in.
Yeah,
I think there's people, I'm accessing people that would not have maybe wanted to come in
yeah.
person because they're busy, or they're just, I don't know, they just might be afraid or something. So that's been interesting too.
Okay. So with the massage therapy portion of it, then is it kind of like you go online and you teach people kind of just different techniques where they can perhaps massage themselves with different, like you mentioned, what was it, foam?
Like foam rollers, have you heard of that?
No.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't have one
Are
right
they
here.
like
I'm
pool
surprised.
noodles?
So it's like a foam tube,
Yeah.
and it's like a self massage tool. You can roll your quads, your
Uh-huh.
calves. Yeah, so you kind of get down and roll, and it's pressing in to the muscles,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And so some of them have little bumps on them. But I mean, I also use tennis balls to show people, like you can lean against the wall and rub your shoulders, the back of your shoulders with the tennis ball, and get the knots. And so most of this has been so far with past clients that I have already. So I know their situation and their
Mm.
areas of tightness and pain, but then it's expanded as like their spouse or one of their family members. Oh, you know, because we're a lot of people are on the computer now a lot more, and not moving as much, not walking as much. I mean, there's less movement potentially for a lot of people, my husband included. And so there's neck tension, and there's a lot of tools just around the house even sometimes, and it can be simple to use these. Like again, a tennis ball is a very cheap way. Lean against the wall and get between the scapula and the shoulder blades and
Mhm.
roll out, loosen some of those muscles. So that's something that's not that hard to do
Okay.
virtually. I mean, I would not, I need to take a medical history and make
Yeah.
sure there's no,
Yeah.
yeah, risk.
But it's interesting the different, things that you can still kind of continue doing
Hmm.
to help yourself and help others that you're working with, which is
Yeah.
always helpful. Great.
Yeah.
So this has been really interesting, really informative as well too. So
Good.
Kim, if somebody wanted to reach you to learn a little bit more about the things we've talked about, what would be the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so they can go to my website,
Mhm.
which is greenroomwellnesscenter.com.
Thank you so much for taking time
You're
to
welcome.
talk to me about how things are going. I hope you're doing well and
Thank
continue to
you.
stay safe and healthy.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye-bye.